Good afternoon, veterans, parents, Stadium High School staff, and students. Welcome to our Veterans Day Assembly. I am Cadet Lieutenant Commander Spencer Bear, Commanding Officer of the NJRTC program here at Stadium High School. And I will be your MC for today's event. Please welcome Principal Marshall.
Hi, I'm Shannon Marshall, Principal of Stadium High School. Welcome to the 2020 Veterans Day Assembly. Normally, I'd stand in front of you in the gym, at the mic, and remind you that this is a serious assembly and to show respect to our participants and honored guests. Well, that still rings true in this remote environment for this asynchronous assembly. So please take a break from your multitasking and spend some moments with us to honor our veterans and their service to our country. Thank you so much to the veterans who have given so much of themselves and the military families who have made that service possible. The selflessness, bravery, honor, and courage are truly commendable and very much appreciated. I also want to thank the Stadium High School NJROTC and all of those who helped with this production to continue our legacy of honoring our veterans each year. Please enjoy this virtual assembly.
Thank you, Principal Marshall. Please rise for the national anthem. On Veterans Day, we pause to honor those who served in the military and the men and women that are serving today. Today, it is our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans and to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices.
Veterans contribute to American society in many ways, not just during their time in active duty. Throughout our history, military service members have put on their uniform to protect the values and liberties that this nation was built on. But that doesn't stop once their uniform comes off and their time in active duty has ended. Veterans take the lessons they have learned and the experiences they've gained and continue their service to our nation by strengthening our communities. They become our nation's leaders, scientists, entrepreneurs. Veterans are the most active volunteers working to improve communities across our country. Service goes beyond the uniform. This Veterans Day, we honor the men and women who have worn their uniform, who continue to serve our country. As we approach the Veterans Day weekend, there are several facts to know about Veterans Day.
Veterans Day was originally called Armistice Day, commemorating the end of the Great War. World War I officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed June 28, 1919. However, the fighting ended about 7 months before that, when the Allies and Germany put into effect an armistice on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson named November 11th Armistice Day.
In 1938, November 11th became a legal holiday with the name Armistice Day. The first national holiday to celebrate Veterans Day was held in 1947. On June 1st, 1954, Congress amended the commemoration by changing Armistice to Veterans, so the day would honor U.S. veterans of all wars.
Since World War I was a multi-country effort, other countries involved in the war honor their veterans around this time of year as well. On or near November 11th, France, Australia, Canada, and Great Britain pay respects to their veterans. The United Kingdom and Canada call this day of honor Remembrance Day.
Veterans Day does not have an apostrophe. The holiday is not a day that belongs to one veteran or multiple veterans, which is what an apostrophe implies. It is a day for honoring all veterans, so no apostrophe is needed.
Veterans Day is not the same as Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a time to remember those who gave their lives for our country. Veterans Day honors those who served our country in war or peace, dead or alive, although it is largely intended to thank living veterans for their service.
Please welcome our guest speaker for today's event, Corporal Jake Stevens.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Jake Stevens. Happy Veterans Day. This Veterans Day, I wanted to take the chance to talk with you guys about leadership and how any one of you is and can be a leader. A lot of people think that leadership comes from the guy yelling in the room or the girl yelling in the room. Has to be the biggest, the loudest, the toughest, all of those, right? We've seen it in the movies. We see it everywhere. That's not necessarily true. You see, my leadership style comes from, I don't sit in a big fancy office. I don't get away from my guys. What I do personally as a leader is I work right there with my guys, and I take a much kinder and gentler approach. What that means is I'm not constantly yelling at them. You see, I've learned throughout my years in the military that being a leader is a lot like being a friend, but also a teacher at the same time. You see, if people are comfortable with you, they'll come to you with their problems, and they're also a lot more apt to listen to you and follow your lead if you take the time to really get to know them. So I don't yell. I don't like yelling, and I also don't like being mean. And that's just my leadership style, and that's what works for a lot of people. But another big part of being a leader is also being responsible and holding yourself accountable, which starts in high school. You see, all of you are held accountable this year, especially due to COVID-19, because you have to work your hardest, harder than I had to work, due to the circumstances. And I am proud of each and every one of you for what you're doing. So, how can you be a leader in school? Well, it starts with your basic tasks, coming to school on time, and doing your work to the best of your ability. And also helping your buddies that are there with you in class. If somebody has an issue, it's okay to take some time and help them if you understand what's going on. And that is a huge part of being a leader. It's just if you see something going on, take the time and see if you can help that person. If you can't, maybe somebody else can. But even if you weren't able to do it yourself, a gigantic part of being a leader is being able to be there for that person, which is just amazing, and that's really good on you for being able to do that. If you can't do that, that's okay. Another big part of being a leader is holding yourself to a high degree of responsibility. Now, I don't mean you have to be in charge of anything to be a leader, but just going home, taking out the trash, doing some chores around the house, that's holding yourself to a high degree of responsibility. And being a leader is all about doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done. So what else? Okay, so I covered taking out the trash. I covered helping my peers. How else can I be a leader? Well, that's a really good question. You see, I take the time out of my day, every day, to just kind of talk and have fun. Because being a leader isn't all just seriousness and boring and all that kind of stuff, you know? A huge part of being a leader is being able to relax and have fun. So make sure while you're not only taking care of your responsibilities and your schoolwork and things like that, make sure you're also having fun. Because you can't be an effective leader if you're not relaxed yourself. So again, not one part of that includes yelling or being mean, or you also don't have to go completely out of your way. I know plenty of leaders that are quiet, reserved, and keep to themselves. The quietest person in your classroom can be a leader and probably is a leader in what they do. Because there's a leader in thousands of things. It doesn't matter what it is, from working in a gas station to picking up trash to being an astronaut. There is a leader in every single thing that needs to be done on this planet. You yourself, listening to me right now, you are a leader whether you know it or not. And that is the important message that I want to get across for Veterans Day, is that all the men and women I've served with, every single one of them has been an effective leader in their own way. And I can't tell you how proud I am of everybody I've been able to serve with and myself for being able to be where I am today. Because if it wasn't for the leaders I've had, the leaders I have, and myself, I couldn't even tell you where I'd be. And so I wanted to spread a good message about leadership because it's all of you that's going to take my place here, whether it be in the military or whatever other industry you choose to go to. You will be a leader and you will excel further and better than everyone before me and everyone I'm with now. And I can tell you, I've talked about doing this at work, and all of us are just so proud of you guys for having the tenacity to go through what you're going through right now, because this is an unprecedented time, and we are all very, very proud of you, myself and my entire team at work. So thank you for letting me talk this Veterans Day, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you for your words, Corporal Stevens. At this time, we'd like to recognize our stadium staff members who have served in the armed forces. Thank you for joining us today. A special thanks goes to our guest speaker, Corporal Jake Stevens, Mr. Cruz, Lily Satz, and Stadium High School's NCHRTC cadets for making this event a success. And remember, take a veteran this weekend.